Nearly 10 years since The First Accountant, we are back with The Accountant 2. Starring John Bernthal and Ben Affleck, we are getting a tale of two brothers that are tasked with the mission of finding who the assassins are. No spoilers here, directly in the trailer. But before we go any further, I would really be lying if I sugarcoated this review. This movie is in my top movies of April list, which is now on a YouTube short. And it probably will make my top 10 movies of the year at the end of the year when I do my review. Now, as you sit back and watch this, you have a focus of brothers that are given the task to go find the assassins and find out who are creating all of this havoc. But in a sense, you're not just seeing it from that perspective. You're also seeing the perspective of brothers that have to find themselves. Because with the story that's involved, the brothers are distant. It almost seems as if they have no relationship and ultimately they just call each other if something is needed. And that is what you see on screen. You see really this brotherly bond that comes into play that really has them forced, in a sense, to join together for this mission. But I think another thing that really stands out about this movie is the random comedy that's involved. Because when you're watching a trailer, in a sense, you feel like it is a full-on action movie. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be intense the whole time. But that's not the case. You do have the personal relationship between the brothers, but the comedy is absolutely hilarious as well. One of my favorite scenes, and this is not a spoiler because it is directly in the trailer, is this little speed dating scene. Because that was, to me, as you see it play out in an extended form on screen, it made it even funnier than what is shown in the trailer. So the comedy breaks up the action. But when we look at the action, I will say what made that so well done is the fact is it wasn't overdone. It felt like they weren't trying to overemphasize certain situations because an audience may want to see more chaos. It felt like it was done the correct way that didn't take away from the storyline, but it also kept viewers engaged as the movie went on. Now, if we look at a con, I really don't know what I would consider a con out of this movie. I felt like everything in this film had a point. I think that is already why no matter how many times I turn on the TV, you see that it's getting an A rating from critics, and that is true. It is an excellent movie. And so if I looked at a con, I guess the one thing you could point out, I think the runtime's a little over 2 hours or so. I think it could have maybe been cut down a little bit if I had to be that nitpicky on the film. But overall, there's not really much that I sat here thinking that needed to be changed. Now, when we get into overall rating, for me, I think The Accountant 2 is a 5 out of 5. I think this movie was enjoyable. It exceeded my expectations. And if you are a fan of movies, you understand that it is in some ways difficult to follow an original. And a lot of people have said that this is better than the original. Now, I'm not going to go that far. I want to watch the original again just to see if I feel that way as well. But it is close. I really enjoyed this movie. It is definitely one that I would recommend that you go and watch. So The Accountant for me, The Accountant 2 for me is a 5 out of 5. It's enjoyable. The comedy, the action, it just all meshes together well and makes an excellent film. So thank you all for the continued support. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit the subscribe button below as we continue to gain more subscribers and content. I greatly appreciate it. Make sure to go check out my other reviews that I have posted and my shorts. Stay tuned for more reviews this week, and I will talk to you all later.